Today on BHP TV Exclusives, we take you to Sandusky, Michigan to visit Strother Archery on a plant tour to show you how they make these awesome products.
Hey, BowHunterPlanet.com. My name's Dan O'Hare. I'm the Vice President of Marketing for Strother Archery, and we're excited to have you here today. One of the things that we're going to do is walk you through our plant to give you an idea about how Strother Archery is structured, give you a snapshot on the processes that we go through to make sure that the bows that we provide you are top-notch quality and they perform at the level that they should be. And then we'll go into some of the details about our new lineup for 2012. So come along, take a look at our plant. Well, as you can see here, this is a manufacturing facility. We have two different businesses here. Of course, we have the Strother Archery, which is our bow business, but our parent company is IAD, and that stands for Industrial Automated Design. And come along, we'll give you a little bit of view on what it is that we do here. You know, inside the plant, like I said, we have Industrial Automated Design. This is a business that is very high-tech, with a great deal of what I'll call engineering intellect that goes into building product for, or machinery for, the automotive industry, military, healthcare, aerospace, etc. This is very high-tech, very specialized area of our business. What's good about that is that there's a lot of complements that we share back and forth from one business unit to the other. You know, like any, manufacturing facility, you've got places where you have machines that maybe cut materials. For instance, it could be cutting our risers, it could be cutting our cams or limb pockets or what have you. But we also have tool machines here that are designed to help us build some of the IAD side of things. You know, if you can see here in the background, this is the area where we have our CNC machines. We have several of those. And in behind those machines is our tool guys. Those guys back there are very specialized to make sure that they can build the kind of tools necessary for us to address the needs of our parts for whether it's the bow company or the machine company IAD. The machine is getting prepped to run some parts for, I believe it's risers right now. And what happens in our process is the parts are machined to a rough cut scenario. They come out into this area after they've been cut, and then from there they go through a series of processes, some of which are proprietary processes that fine-tune the parts, trim the sharp edges and soften it up for us, and prep it for the decorating that has to take place in the next stage of our bow build. You know, once the parts come out of the CNC machines and they've been prepped, they then get staged, and there's two places that they go. Depending on the part, we may have parts that go out to be decorated. Once they're decorated, they come back into the facility here. They get staged on these various different racks to, get ready for pre-assembly. As you can kind of see here, we have a pretty well organized staging system. This allows us to sort the different parts of the bow and put it into a pretty good system in how we go about assembling it from the very beginning to a finished bow. Once the bow has been finished, it goes through a series of processes to ensure that the bow's been assembled properly and that the bow functions fundamentally properly before it goes into John's department, which is our bowman, who does the fine-tuning to make sure that the bow is in spec before it hits the box and goes out the door. Okay, basically after the bow has been assembled, we go through a series of processes to make sure that the bow is in spec. One of the things that our bowman here, John, is doing is he has our bow on a drawboard, or what is referred to as a drawboard. And what he does here is to make sure that the rotation of the cams and the strings are in sync in a rotation that is the way that we've designed it to be. There's several different checks that he does as he's going through that process. If for some reason it doesn't rotate the way it's supposed to, he'll then take it and make the appropriate adjustments. As he is checking, one of the things that he checks is our overdraw protection post. This serves two purposes for us. One is to protect in the event that, say, our draw stop might be loose or isn't in the right position. That protects the bow from being overdrawn, which could potentially lock it up. So it's rather unique to us, but it also acts as a tuning mechanism, so we can measure that the bow is actually in tune. If it isn't, posts don't hit the cable at the same time, then John knows he needs to make an adjustment. After John checks the overdraw protection post for timing, one of the things that he also does is look at the draw stop. If the draw stop is not hitting the limb on both sides of the bow, top and bottom, then what he does is he makes the adjustment and tightens down the bolt, and then double checks everything to make sure everything is timed in sync. You know, once John is done checking the overdraw protection post for timing and making the adjustments on the draw stop, he then takes it over and runs a few arrows through the bow. The purpose behind this obviously is to make sure that the bow is functioning the way it's supposed to, and he's checking to see if the bow is in spec. Well, now that you folks have had a chance to sort of see some of the processes that we go through here at Struther and how we're set up as a company, let me take a moment and sort of describe to you about the company, where we're headed, and touch on some of the new bows for 2012. You know, Strother Archery is a new company in the industry, but we have quickly become recognized for truly making a high-performance bow with what we believe is a second to none in the way of craftsmanship. We've been very pleasantly surprised with how the consumers have responded to our bows. They seem to be very happy with the results that they're getting, whether they're a hunter or they're, you know, shooting competitively or just recreationally. This year we've introduced 4 new bows in the lineup. Our flagship bow is the Wrath. That's this bow here. A couple of key things about this bow is it's a 32-inch axle to axle. It has an 8-inch brace height and is extremely maneuverable. But with the Badger cam, we've been able to accomplish some efficiencies and some, say, speeds and kinetic energy with a big brace height that a lot of other companies can't accomplish. This bow here shoots up to 330 feet per second with an 8-inch brace height. Not only that, but we're in the mid to high 80s in terms of kinetic energy. So if you're a hunter, you look at that as downrange accuracy, shooting bullets at the level that you need to be shooting them, and most importantly, when that arrow hits where you aim, it punches right through. We've been very pleased with the performance of the Wrath. This is a bow that we think is really going to set the industry on fire this year. Along with the Wrath, we've introduced kind of a spin-off of our last year's Essex 1 model. We call it the Essex Rush. That bow is our speed bow. It has speed ratings up to 342 plus. It's got a 6.5-inch brace height with a 34-inch axle to axle. So for those guys that are a little bit more particular about their form and their setup and are looking for speed and high energy, the Essex Rush is a great bow for them. And then we have the Moxie. Now this is a great brand new bow for us. It's a longer axle to axle. It's 37 plus inches in axle to axle, but it's got a 7.25 brace height on it. And because of that, we're able to achieve speeds upwards of 330 feet per second, which is somewhat unheard of. And it also goes out to 32.5 inches of draw length, and that allows us to get to those, and we use the term around here, the knuckle draggers, the long draw type people. Most bows only go out to 32 inches. We now go out to 32.5. The 4th bow in the lineup is our Hope. This is a growing market for us. It's been pretty well recognized in the industry that there's a lot of potential there. But a lot of other companies just take an older model of a bow and maybe change the aesthetics, and they call it a woman's bow. We, on the other hand, took a different approach, and we designed a bow specifically for a woman. Something a little bit lighter weight. It's 3.5 pounds. It does have a 34-inch axle to axle to it with a 6.5-inch brace height, but we're accomplishing speeds and kinetic energy that our women say they want. that no other bow is accomplishing in that same category. So we're very excited about the lineup. Well, folks, I'm here with Brian Park. Brian is the president of Strother Archery, but also one of the co-owners of the company. You know, Brian, I've given the folks a tour through the plant, sort of given them a snapshot of, you know, how we, you know, build our product, manufacture our parts, assemble it, and some of the, you know, sort of testing that we put into the bow before it actually hits the box and out the door. Maybe you could share for the folks what really makes us different.
Well, Danny, we have the unique ability through our parenting company to provide our archery business with high-tech automation, high-tech systems, high-tech just about anything because of our parent company. All of our products are going through a system that basically the auto world is using, and it's light years ahead of any other industry I've ever been involved with. So we get a chance to see new technology years before the public gets to see it. And as far as we're concerned, our tagline is extend your range for a reason. We're trying to make sure that every part, every business aspect that we have, our teams, our systems, the quality of our parts, they all are highly accurate, very technologically advanced. So when we say extend your range, we mean it because it's such a high-tech product that it's going to be accurate, so you can shoot farther and longer distances. And we're excited about the future because of what we know, what's coming next, the things that are coming down the road. Like I said earlier, we have a chance to see that new technology where nobody else gets to see that for a while. So we know what's next. It's exciting to us.
Sure is. Very good. Well, there you have it, folks. I think that, first of all, I want to thank you for coming in and taking a little tour through our plant, having a chance to meet a few people with the company, and most importantly, give you a comfort and a confidence level in the Strother Archery brand. So we appreciate you being here today, and please check out Strother Archery.